Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today's video is on how to box braid locks. So we're gonna go from this to this, and I'm gonna show you how I braided the hair, my process and steps. It's not that difficult to do. It's really just more about concealing the locks. So let's get right into it. So I am using the Janet EZ Tex hair because it has a little bit of texture to it. It's not too silky, and it's also pre-stretched, so it gives me a little bit of versatility as far as I'm not gonna have to take the extra time to stretch the hair and make the ends uneven before I start braiding. So here's my technique for how I like to cross the hairs before I start the braid. So what I will do is use some edge control paste, whatever it is that you want to call this. This is actually kind of acts as an edge control, but this is used to retwist locks. So apply some of that to the locks, right? And then, you make sure it's as neat as possible. So I'm combing a little bit here to separate the hairs. And then you get right into your box braids. So you're going to use one of the locks at a time as a strand. It's pretty much a very simple way to do it. You just take less synthetic hair as you would for the other two strands to cover the lock. So use as little hair as possible in order to match the thickness of the other two strands. And if those strands, some are a little bit bigger than the other, all you have to do is just add a little bit more to one. Just take from another strand as you just saw me do. So we're doing it here. See, there you go. All right, so just continue to braid, and covering the lock is fairly easy process. It also depends on the color of the locks in comparison to your synthetic hair. So I'm starting off a little bit slow because I want to make sure I'm taking that hair and kind of twisting it and rolling it around the lock at the same time. It doesn't take a lot of hair to conceal the locks at all, but my only concern for you would be just, depending on what color synthetic hair you're using is and the color of the lock, you kind of want the colors to coordinate. You kind of want them close to each other. The thing is, they don't necessarily have to be close to each other. It's all a matter of personal preference. So Alyssa's locks start off a dark brown, and some of her ends go into a lighter color. So I'm going to show you the ends right now. So the biggest part here is concealing the ends once you're braiding. So you want to make sure the ends are also even at the bottom, because remember, you started off with less hair at the beginning of the braid. So you're going to take some hair from the other strands to cover the ends. And if you can see a little bit of her hair that was sticking out, a little bit of curl, add some control paste if you need to cover the end. But the thing is, it all depends on the person's locks, right? So it depends on the thickness of the lock. It depends on the ends. Some people's ends are curly. Some locks have curly ends. So this is not the case for, I'm sorry, please excuse the kid walking back there. This is not the case for her particular hair texture and type. So now I'm gonna go to the top and show you how I'm adding in the 613 27 combination colors to add some highlights to her hair. So what I'm doing here is pretty much the same thing. This hair is also a different color, as you can tell. So Alyssa has more of a 30 colored hair mix. I want to say even 27 to some of her locks at the top. But if you're braiding the lock with enough hair to cover it, you're going to be concealing it. But what I did do is add a little bit more hair to these braids for the accent and also coverage. So I'll put the information down. Look in the box below to see what brand hair this was. And the texture, as you can see, is also slightly crinkly, and that crinkly look and texture helps to grip the lock and also cover it. So, you know, you can try to do the best you can. You're not exactly looking for perfection here as far as covering, because this hair color is mixed. If you had a solid color and, you know, the hair is black and you're trying to cover it with this, then you're going to try to do your best. But like I said, that all depends on the amount of hair that you're using to braid the hair. So if you've watched far enough, if you came this far, you can see how it is that I am braiding her hair to cover the lock. So I've added a little control paste to her hairline, and now I'm taking this scarf off. So now I'm going to come in a little closer so you can see what I did there. So, I mean, it's a great technique. It doesn't look like she has locks or she's had locks. It just looks like she has regular box braids. So how you grip the roots is really going to determine, you know, how well these locks are going to look. So moving on to her ends, you know, I'm just doing a hot water dip. I didn't braid the ends. I simply dipped it in. In retrospect, I should have used a different container instead of this metal bowl that contains heat. Please do not use a metal bowl. Be smarter than I was. So once you're done with your ends, you're going to take a look here. This is what they look like with a regular dip. Nothing exotic or nothing crazy. The hair was just simply placed in the bowl and taken out, dried with the towel as best as possible. You know, it's up to you what you want to do next. Here is a little close-up of what the braids look like. You know, I personally would not put mousse on these braids. It's up to you. If you see the little hairs sticking out from the braids, like for instance in this particular bright 613 one, you will cut them. Okay, so here's the finished product. Here's what it looks like, you know, and there's no difference between braiding locks and box braids. You can style it just the same, half up, half down style, just like you've seen here. You still have that versatility, but you also have the length of the box braids. So take a look. This is how long they are, and that was the process. So, you know, when you have locks, you're not just limited to doing lock styles. You can also do other techniques such as weaves, not just box braids, but that's for another video. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment down below. I will respond. Thanks for watching. Bye.